Good morning, good morning. Good morning to everyone. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. For today's video, as the title says, Somali versus Japanese. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a very long time. Um, Actually, when I was about 6 months in Somali, I wanted to make a video comparison, between the two languages because there are some similarities. They're both SOV languages, and there are some concepts that, like, if you learn Japanese before Somali, there are some concepts in the language that can actually help you learn Somali, and I'm going to show you those here today. So I think I made a video like this before through Camtasia. Just wrote wrote everything out rather than use the marker board. So if you've seen those, it will be pretty much the same. So we're going to start from the top. So we have Somali versus Japanese. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the structure, SOV, which stands for subject, object, verb. The subject comes first, the object comes second, and then the verb comes last. Okay, so the verb is at the end. Now, there are times when the verb can be at the beginning, but generally, uh, the rule is to put the verb at the end in both languages. So I want to give you some examples here and show you. So Japanese starting first. So we have ima nihongo o benkyou shitai desu. So I wrote both the hiragana and the Japanese for those of you who can read the characters, and for those of you who are maybe just learning just starting to learn language, so that you can read the script and know what's going on. So I decided to add both of them. So ima nihongo o benkyou shitai desu. So now ima. Okay, so let's look at the structure here. So ima here is now. Nihongo is Japanese. O, that is the subject part. That's the object marker. And then benkyou shitai desu is the verb, which means benkyo is study, right? But it's a noun. If you just say benkyo, it means studies. And then you add the shi, which is from shimas. I'll show you guys so you can get a clear idea. So if you say, for example, you say benkyo shimas, that's where the shi comes from, the masu. So when you say benkyo shimas, that can mean like you study in general or you're going to study. Okay. Now what happened here is tai, they dropped off this shi here. I mean, they dropped off the masu and add tai. It's a verb. I mean, it's a grammar rule to make it into want. So now you want to study, and then you add des, which is, and it just completes the sentence. So I want to study. I want I want to study Japanese is what it says. Ima nihongo o benkyou shitai desu. Another example. Ima mise ni ikimasu. Ima mise ni ikimasu. So ima again is noun. Mise means shop or store, and then ni is that's the direction particle towards. You going towards the mise, and then ikimasu is to go. So ikimasu is it can mean you go in general or you're going to go, right? So as you can see, you have I didn't even go through it before. So Nihongo, that is basically ima, that's the object coming here, and you have the object marker, and then Benkyo Shitaida is the verb. Okay, so now that you want to do it can be the subject. So you see how it follows the rule of SOV. Here, same deal. Ikimasu is the verb, and then mise that's the place you're going to, right? So that's that for Japanese. Now let's look at the Somali. Somali, we have Hadda af Somali Baran Rabah. Hadda af Somali Baran Rabah. So now, Hadda means now. Af Somali is that's the language. Af means tongue, and then Somali is the Somali. and then baran raba. Baran is the root word, is from to study. Baran, actually, no, I'm sorry. I should say the infinitive of to study. Baran raba, and raba means to want, referring to me. I want. So baran raba, baran raba, baran raba. I want to study the Somali now. So now of Somali baran raba. So it's the same structure. So now, and then you have of Somali here, right? And then baran raba. And that's the verb for wanting to study it. So that's what they do in Somali. Whenever they say they want to, whenever someone wants to do something, you want to do something, you have to use rabah, okay? And then whatever the verb is, it has to go in its infinitive form. That's the only thing that they don't do in Japanese when they want to express wanting to do something. They don't use the infinitive, okay? Because the infinitive of benkyo, of this study, it will be benkyo suru, but they don't use that form to express wanting something. So that's what happens here in Somali. Now let's look at the second example. Iminka dukanka ayan tegaya. Iminka dukanka ayan tegaya. So iminka, that means now. So we have two ways of saying noun in Somali. Iminka, it actually looks like Japanese ima. Now that I look at it, iminka, dukanka. Dukan is shop by itself, but the ka here is the. It makes it into like indefinite. I always get these mixed up. Definite, indefinite. Definite. I believe the definite should be like a, and the indefinite should be the. So that's what the ka is. It becomes the. If you drop it off and you just have dukan, that means the shop. So dukanka, the shop. Ayan tegaya. Tegaya is the verb. It means it's just like Japanese. It has two meanings. It can mean that like it's a future, right? Or well actually, yeah, it's future tense or general. Yeah, it can be like general, yeah, like general tense, just like Japanese. Now this ayan here is a focus marker. Now this here, uh, well, we're gonna talk about those here in a minute. But I'll just tell you right now that it's like a focus marker. So it's like it's referring to me that I'm going to do something. So iminka dukanka ayan tegaya. So it's like the ayan is focusing on the shop. So it's like it is the shop that I'm going to. It is the shop, like the shop that I'm going to. Okay. Subject. Now we're getting into subject markers. We're done with SOV. You guys see how the structure is for both languages. Now let's talk about some subject markers. Now, if you guys have learned Japanese, you know what I'm talking about. Subject markers, those annoying particles, markers that you have to get used to. They were nightmares for me. They were nightmares for me when I started learning Japanese. I just didn't understand them because they were just so foreign and I never seen them before. Ga and wa, right here. Okay, ga and wa. So basically, these are subject markers. Now the wa, they're almost the same, but ga is like, okay, why when you're introducing something, like for example, you say it's today. As far as today, um, as far as today, it's going to rain. As far as my homework, I will complete it later on. Whatever the subject is, you have to have why. Why has to come after it. Okay, I'm gonna show you some examples down here. Now this guy here, like I said, is similar, but it's more like my the way I remember is like some new information, some like new information being introduced, and then something like how can I explain this? Oh, like if someone asks you, well, who did this? Or let me see, like who taught you this, or who bought this, or who spilled this, who, like I'm wanting to know. I want to know who, I want to know something. It's really hard to explain the guy. You have to see some examples in this. That's how I learned. But they're almost the same. You're gonna notice almost, not exact. So let's look at some example sentences so you guys can get a better idea of how these two subject markers work. So the first sentence, 私が先月、日本語を Wait a minute, am I missing something? 私が先月に Oh, I think it's ni. I should put ni. 先月. Yeah, hold on. It felt strange. It felt strange. Okay, 私が先月に Okay, there. All right, let's do that. Okay, go back to English. All right, so 私が先月に日本語を勉強し始めました。私が先月に日本語を勉強し始めました。So, 私が, so 私, that's I'm the subject. Now, like I said, when you having a subject, you have to have the why or the guy here. And you're going to see, yeah, it is really hard to explain these two. But let me continue. So watashi, okay. Watashi is I, which is the subject. Ga is the subject particle. Sengetsu ni, that is last month. Okay. Nihongo is Japanese, which is the object. O is the object marker. You need the object marker after the object every time. Benkyo shi hajimemashita. Benkyo is, again, we saw this before. This means studies by itself. Benkyo is studies. Benkyo shimasu. Remember how I showed you shimasu before? It happens again here. They break off the masu and add hajimemasu. And then hajimemasu means to begin. Hajimemasu. Let me break this hajimemashita down for you. Hajimemasu means to begin, like you start. The shita at the end is past tense. So hajimemashita is started in the past. Okay? So benkyo shi hajimemasu. So when you put them together with benkyo, it becomes started to study. So I started to study Japanese last month is the translation of this sentence. 私が先月に日本語を勉強し始めました. Now, the why, see, let me see here. Yeah. I'm not gonna try to explain it because it's gonna be confusing. But it's really good to see examples and see this used in context. That's how I learned and got used to it. You can try to remember, but like you're gonna use it wrong if you don't have enough exposure and seen enough example sentences on how it's used and see how the natives use it. That's why it's important to really use the language with the native speakers eventually, so you can see how they're using things. This guy and why these two particles they can be confusing, and just gotta be patient with them and just get that practice in and exposure with them. But anyway, moving on. The next one is 誰が寿司を食べてしまいましたか? 誰が寿司を食べてしまいましたか? So, first of all, translation is who ate all of the sushi? Dale is who, and that's the subject. So, 誰が. Now, you can't use wa. You can't say dale wa. That won't work. Just to let you know, so you can see the pattern here. The first one, watashi ga, you can actually use wa. You can say watashi wa sengetsu ni nihongo o benkyou shi hajimemashita. You can actually use wa here. That will work. But for this one here, you can't say dare wa sushi o tabete shimamashita. It won't work. So dare ga, so this is the subject, and then sushi is the object. Sushi o tabete shimaimashita ka? So ate all the sushi. So tabete shimaimashita. So this word here, let me break this down for you. Tabe, okay, tabemasu. I'll use the masu form, which is eat. Eat in general. You're going to eat or you eat in general. The te here is part of the construction. Te plus shimaimashita. Shimaimasu. I'll use the masu form. When you have te plus shimaimasu, that means that something has been completed. So you have to put the verb in this, which in this case is tabemasu, in the te form. It becomes tabete. Tabete, like that. and then you add the she, my, must at the end. Um, Depending on the time, like depending on when it happened, the future or the past. You say tabete shimaimasu or tabete shimaimashita. It happened. Like you ate everything. You say tabete shimaimashita, you ate everything. Everything was totally eaten. Okay, so that's what that means. And then ka here is the question. They put the ka at the end of the sentence to ask the question. All right. So dare ga sushi o tabete shimaimashita ka? Who ate all of the sushi? Now, in the reply, you see, if you reply, you say, "Oh, Nezumi ga tabete shimashita." You see, you have to reply with a ga. You say, "Oh, Nezumi ga, Nezumi ga." You say Nezumi ga. That's how that works. All right, so some more examples here using this with this wa and ga. I have 4 examples here since these are complicated, especially at the beginning for beginners. Watashi no namae wa Nezumi desu. Watashi no namae wa Nezumi desu. So, watashi is I, no is the that is the possession. So my and then namae is name. And then wa is the subject particle. So when you say watashi no namae wa, that means as far as my name, you see, as far as my name, Nezumi desu. It is Nezumi. As far as my name, it is Nezumi, which is mouse. Okay. Now, for some of you probably wondering, those of you who are early in learning Japanese, like why are you writing the wa like ha? Well, ha is the written form. You can't when you're writing Japanese, you will always see it written like that. Here, like here, you see it in hiragana. That's ha right there. This character here, that's ha. Okay. Written Japanese, you have to write ha, but when you're reading Japanese or you speaking, it's wa. It's always wa. So I wouldn't say watashi no namae ha nezumi desu. I'll say watashi no namae wa nezumi desu. That's the rule. All right, another example. Tokyo wa nigiyaka na machi desu ne. Tokyo wa nigiyaka na machi desu ne. So Tokyo wa, so as far as Tokyo, nigiyaka na. Nigiyaka means lively. And it's a na adjective. That's what the na here. You will see those in Japanese, na adjective, and you're going to see na adjectives, and you're going to have to just remember them. Nigiyaka na, taisetsu na, kirei na, all of those are na adjectives. So as far as Tokyo, nigiyaka na machi desu ne. Machi is city, right? And then des is, and then ne was, isn't it? Like it's a lively city, isn't it? Like, right? Like, isn't it? Okay, so that's another example using why. So like I said, it just takes time and a lot of exposure and practice to get used to this why and ga. It was a nightmare. These 2 particles were nightmares for me at the beginning of my studies. They just weren't making any sense. But I stuck with it and I kept trying to practice, and I was reading things and I got used to it. Now let's look at the Somali. Now this is interesting. Okay, I didn't realize this at the beginning. After 6 months of studying Somali, I started to realize this, this similarity with Japanese. But in Somali, they have subject markers also. They have subject markers in Somali. Now, they have 2. Okay, they can use e, the I, or the u. They're the same. As the way the Y is used in Japanese, the same way they is the same in Somali. You use e or u. Okay, so for example, afsomaligu wa adegahe. Afsomaligu wa adegahe. So afsomali. Now, if you look at afsomali by itself is Somali language, but you can't say afsomali wa adegahe. Wa is, that means is, and then adek is difficult, and then yeah, Yahai is more, it's like it is also, like it's referring back to Somali. So why both of these are similar, but this is more of a focus. It's focusing on, well, let's just say that why is more focusing on the language Somali. So it's like Somali, it is the Somali language that is adek, that is difficult. Of Somaligu. Now this gu here, this gu, um, let me see how, okay. Gu. They add the u there because that's the subject. So you have to say Af Somali gu. You can't just say Af Somali. You have to have the u there in order to make that the subject. So you have u, and you have wa, and you have adek, and you have yahai. Okay. See what's next. And then this is another example using this e here, the I. So this is another example using this rather than using the u, using the I here. So barnaamijkii waa wax tara ah. Barnaamijkii waa wax tara ah. Right? So barnaamijkii, that means so when you say barnaamij, like barnaamij is like program. But when you say barnaamijkii, let me see, hold on. Yeah, barnaamijkii, that is the program. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, the program. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. Hold on. We not. Barnaamijka is the program. But here, barnaamijkii with the e there is the subject. It's just saying as far as this program, barnaamijkii. Let me see. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's back up. Hold on for a second. Let me slow down. Barnaamijkii wa tara. First, let me translate this. The program is useful. That's what it says. The program is useful. So it is so barnaamijkii from barnaamijka. You see the ka is the that means the, right? But now you have e here at the end. Actually, these two e's. I can't explain. I don't know why they have two e's, but this is still part of the subject. But it's the program. As far as the program, as far as it, wa tara'a. Wa tara'a. So the program is like the wa here is focusing on the program. It is the program. You know, is which is, that's is, and then tara, that means useful. Okay, together. Wah is thing. Wah tara. When you put them together, that means the usefulness. So the program is useful. So here's the subject again. All right. Okay, next one. Where are we? Magaigua. Okay, so Magaigua Muse. You guys heard that a lot in the video. That means my name is Moses. So Magaigu, which is from Magaiga. Now, if you look at this, Magaiga, that means my name. You have the ga here, which is indefinite article. It's the Magaiga, the name. It's like, yeah, that's what it is, the name. Or my name, the name of my, or something like that. You notice that it's, let me see. Magaigu, hold on. Let's see, where are we? Magaigu. Yeah, so Magaiga, my name, and then Magaigu is the subject. It's still saying my name because Aiga is I, but you drop off the A and add you because now it's in a sentence. When you're forming a sentence and it becomes in a subject, you need to have a subject marker. So u here is used. So Magaigu wa Muse. So it's my name, the wa is Muse. Magaigu wa Muse, my name, Moses. Okay. Another example with the subject marker. Ninkani wuxuu ii sheegay inuu qof Somali yahay. Ninkani wuxuu ii sheegay inuu qof Somali yahay. So ninkani. So first of all, nin, let me translate it. This man, this man told me that he is Somali. This man told me that he is Somali. So nin is by itself means man. Kan, that is a demonstrative, is this. Okay, it means this. Kan. We not talk about those right now. We'll do that in a future video. So this man, nin kan. And then ni, e here, that is the subject. You need the subject here. Okay. If you wanted to say this man, you say nin kan. But if it's in a sentence, you have to you have to have a subject marker. So nin kan ni, this guy, woho e woho, that now that's referring to him. He did something. Woho. We'll talk about this in another video. E is to me in a direction. It can mean for me, to me, depending on the context. So woho e, he told to me, or to me, shege. Shege means to tell, and it's in the past tense. He told. So he told to me, inu. This is relative. Like inu, we'll talk more about these in the video, but inu is like that he. It means that he, Kof is person, Somali, and the Somali person, Yahai is. So he told me that he is a Somali person. Okay. And so our main focus here is the object or the subject, right? Moving on. We're almost done here. Object markers, okay? Something else that is unique for us native English speakers or any any European language, they don't have these markers like this. This is very unique. Another concept that takes time to get used to. So let's look at it. So Japanese, first one. What we have. 彼が図書館で友達と一緒に日本語を勉強し、wait, hold on. 勉強し始めました。I messed up somewhere. Yep, some typos again. Hold on. 勉強し始めました。勉強し始めました。And I used the wrong character here. It should be 始めました. Like that. Okay. So, 彼が図書館で友達と一緒に日本語を勉強し始めました。So translation, he started learning Japanese together with his friend at the library. 彼が, so he is a subject, が, 図書館で, 図書館 is the library, and で is the preposition at. So at the library, 友達と, 友達 is friend, と is with, 一緒に, that means together. Okay, so together with his friend, Nihongo o, Nihongo is Japanese, and that is the object. And that's our focus here, object markers. So after Nihongo, you add o, you need the o after the object, and then you get the verb. Benkyou shi hajimemashita. Started to study. I'm not going to break this down because I did before, but that's beginning to study. So he started to study in the library together with his friend. So this is our focus. O here. That's the object marker. Next sentence. 明日大切な試験を取らなくてはいけませんからよく準備しておきたいです。明日大切な試験を取らなくてはいけませんからよく準備しておきたいです。So translation, oops, what happened? Translation, tomorrow there's an important exam. I have to take an important exam tomorrow. Therefore, I want to prepare I want to prepare well in advance. Tomorrow, there's an important exam that I must take. Therefore, I want to prepare well in advance. So, our main focus here is O again. So, ashita. So, tomorrow, ashita is tomorrow. Taisetsu na. Taisetsu, that's important. And that taisetsu na, that's like an adjective, an adjective. Taisetsu na shiken. Shiken means exam. O, and that is the object. Okay, shiken o toranakute wa ikimasen kara. So I have toranakute wa ikimasen. That means have to take. Okay, so that important exam have to take kara. Therefore, or due to the fact that I have to take that important exam, yoku is well. Junbi shite okitai desu. Junbi shite okitai desu. That means to prepare in advance. Now, junbi, just to break it down for you, junbi, okay, junbi suru. That's where it's from. That means to prepare. This okitai, or first of all, oki is from okimas or oku. Okay, oku, okimas, but I'm just going to use the masu form. That means like, um, that is the part that means like you do something that's being done in advance. Okimas. Okay. Actually, okimas has in advance. Te oku is a grammatical construction. Just like how we said te shimai mashita before, it's the same, is in the same group. So you take the verb and put it in this te form and add okimas, then you become it be like which in this case junbi suru, you say junbi shite okimas, and that would be like to prepare in advance, to prepare ahead of time. Okay, so that's that. And that our main focus there again was the O, and that's the object marker after shiken, which was the object. Moving on. Somali. What do we have for Somali? So now this, I don't want to say this now. These aren't object markers really. Like, oh, excuse me. These aren't really object markers. They're not like the same as Japanese, but you can tell that the way these are used in Somali are, the concept is similar to Japanese. I don't know. It's just like if you learn Japanese and you start learning Somali and you see this, you will understand more what I'm talking about. This, like, it will actually help you if you understand how to use object markers in Japanese. Let me just show you some examples here. Ninka ni baburu ka buwade. Ninka ni baburu ka buwade. So this man drove, he drove the car, is what it says. This man drove the car. So nin kani, this man. Remember I said nin is man and kan is this, and ni is the subject. So as far as this man, baburuka, baburu by itself means car, vehicle, or truck, and in ka is the. So baburuka, the car, the vehicle. Bu wade. Wade is from wado. Like wado means drive. Okay, wado. Wado means drive, and it's in the past tense. So he drove the car. Now this bu here is referring to him. And I made a little chart down here just to show you guys. I'm going to show you in a minute. But this bu is like a focus. They call them like focus markers in Somali. And this is focusing on that. It's focusing on the vehicle, the car. It is the car that the man drove. Baburuka, boo, boo wade, boo. Like it was the car that this man drove. And see, for me, having studied Japanese, it was easy. And like I said, it's not the same. These aren't object markers. Like they don't even call them object markers in Somali. My understanding is that they're just focus markers focusing on the noun. Um, but having like studying Japanese, it kind of helped me. It helped me, well, not kind of, but it helped me a lot to remember this concept of how they are used. Okay, let's look at the next example. Sahib kegu morado dal kale tegiya sidadarate laag bu sarifta. Sahib kegu morado dal kale tegiya sidadarate laag bu sarifta. So, Sahib Kegu, first of all, translation. My friend is going to a different country. He is going to another country soon, or he will go to another country soon. Because of this, or therefore, he's changing money or exchanging money, like a money exchange. Okay. So let's go here. So Sahib Kegu. So Sahib is friend by itself. Sahib is friend. Kegu K. Sahib K is my friend. Okay, so Sahib K is my friend. Gu Kegu is my. Keiga is originally from Keiga, which is my. When you put Keiga, I'll show you. Like Keiga, that is my. That is possession, right? Sahib Kegu. Now this u here is because it's the subject. The friend is the subject. So Sahib Kegu. So as far as my friend, Morado, Morado. Morado means soon or close. But in this context, it means soon. Dal Kale. Dal is country, and then Kale is other or another. Tegaya, and that means he's going. It has two meanings. You can mean he goes in general or he's going to go. Sila Date. Due to this, because of that, therefore, La'ag. La'ag is money. La'ag bu sarifta. So he's going to exchange money there. Sarifta is like this. That means to exchange or change. And there's the bu again, referring to him, and it's referring to, is concentrating on the la'ag, which is the money. Okay, that's going to be changed. You see that concept is similar to Japanese. Now this chart here, the only difference is you have to remember for each personal pronoun. Okay, see, we only talked about him. Bu is referring to he. But if when it changes to I, you, he, she, we, inclusive, exclusive, you, excuse me, then it's going to change. It's going to no longer be bu. For example, if I'm talking about myself, whatever I'm doing, rather than use bu, I will use ban. Okay, I'll use ban. And the same with the others. It would just change depending on the personal pronoun. Now, you have two forms here. They're used interchangeably. You have ban and then ayan. You have bad, ayad, and bu, ayu. So we could use ayu here as well. They're used interchangeably. No meaning. The meaning doesn't change. Okay, this is just a chart for that, just to show you how that works out in Somali. Okay, all right. The last part is preposition. We talk about prepositions. So we have in the Japanese, we have the de as a preposition, meaning if you don't know what a preposition is, basically just like at, mean at, in, inside. Those are all prepositions. And then the Somali uses ku. So let's look at the Japanese first. Toshokan de taite nihonjin ni ao koto ga dekiru no de renshu suru no wa hotondo mainichi ikimasu. So Toshokan de 大抵日本人に会うことができるので、練習するのはほとんど毎日行きます。So so what this says that, 図書館で大抵, so there's a lot of Japanese, you can meet, let me see. 図書館で大抵日本人に会うことができるので, so at the library, you can often meet Japanese people, so, 練習するのはほとんど, so in order to practice, I go there almost every day. You can meet a lot of Japanese people at the library. Therefore, I go there almost every day in order to practice. That's what the sentence means. So our main focus here is de, which is the preposition. De, at or in. Okay. So, so Toshokan is the library. And then de is at or in. So when you say Toshokan de, that means at the library. Taite is often. Nihonjin is the Japanese people. Ni is the, is towards, but this has a lot of meanings. But in this context, ni is referring to meeting. When you say you're going to meet someone, you have to use ni, not to. Is ni. Okay? So Nihonjin ni ao koto ga dekiru no de. Ao means to meet, and then koto ga dekiru is a construction. You use infinitive plus this construction, and it becomes able to do it. Ao is the infinitive. Aimasu is the masu form, which is to meet. So, ao koto ga dekiru no de. No de is therefore or so. Renshu, practice, which is a noun. But when you add suru to it, it becomes a verb. Renshu suru. So, practice no wa. Excuse me. No wa here is like to do this, to do that. So it's like renshu suru no wa. So to practice, to whatever it is, but it has to be in the infinitive form. Hotondo, hotondo is almost. Mainichi is every day, and then ikimasu is go. I will go, or I go in general. In this case, it's the general tense. Okay, so that's that. So our main focus here in this sentence was de, at the library. Another example. 本田でたくさんの働いている日本人が多いので、日本語を習うのはかなり役に立つです。本田でたくさんの働いている日本人が多いので、日本語を習うのはかなり役に立つです。So translation, there's a lot of Japanese people working at Honda, so it is quite useful learning Japanese. Honda de, so there's the de at, so at Honda. Takusan, that is a lot. Takusan no, there a lot of, no is possession, but it's like of. Takusan no, a lot of. Hataraiteiru. Hataraiteiru means working, like working from hataraku, which is the infinitive. Hataraitu nihonjin, so Japanese working. So working Japanese. So there are a lot of working Japanese ga. Oi no de. Oi means many. No de is there for the ga. The ga here is different. It's not the subject. Okay, this is a different usage of ga. Whenever you're saying something exists, you have to use ga. Okay. Not dealing with subject this time. Nihongo o, so Japanese o, that is the object. O narao no wa, there's that no wa again like before. Narao means to learn, and it's in its infinitive form or dictionary form. Narao no wa, to learn. Kanari is quite. Yaku ni tatsu, des. Yaku ni tatsu means useful. Des, it is. All right. So again, our main focus here was de, which is the preposition to be at or in. Okay. Final. Somali. So Somali uses ku for a preposition. Oh, Somali uses ku for preposition. And the way they use it, it's kind of weird. You have to get used to it. Let's look at this. Let's look at the samples. All right. Morwalba, datka, wah baran, librariga, way ku baratan. Morwalba, datka, wah baran, librariga, way ku baratan. So often people study. Let me see. People study a lot of things at the people often study a lot of things at the library, is what that says. People often study a lot of things at the library. Marwalba, datka, wahbaran, librariga, way kubaratan. So marwalba, that is often. Marwalba, often. Datka, that means people. Datka, wahbaran, that means a lot of things. Wah is things, and baran is a lot. Librariga, accent on the second knee. Librariga, that means the library. Library is library, but the guy is making it the, turning into indefinite. Librariga, way ku baratan. Way. The way here is focusing on that's going back to the people, right? That's the focus, is focusing on the people. So, wah baran library got way ku baratan. Ku is the preposition. That means at. And baratan means to study. And that's referring to, that's the plural, the an, like that, with the a and at the end. So often the people, a lot of things, library, the library, literally, this I'm doing literally, the library, they, at, learn. So that's how they use the preposition in Somali. Well, that's one way to use it, but you'll see it used in this way very often, especially in longer sentences. Second example, waxaan ku af Somali baranayay saddex iyo toban bilood. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay saddex iyo toban bilood. I've been learning Somali at home. Oh, wait. I'm missing something. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay. Let me see. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay. Let's see. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay. Yeah, I missed something. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay gurigayga saddex iyo toban bilood. Okay, yeah. Gurigay. Okay, waxaan ku af Somali baranayay gurigay. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay gurigay saddex iyo toban bilood. Gurigayga. Okay, yeah, gurigayga. Okay. I was forgetting the location. So ku. All right. So waxaan ku af Somali baranayay gurigayga saddex iyo toban bilood. So I've been studying Somali at home, in my home, for 14 months, is what that says. Waxaan, that's referring to me. Waxaan ku, that is the preposition. So I'm doing this literally now. Af Somali, the Somali language of Somali. I've been studying, like, so Wahanku, I at. So Somali language, Baranaye. This is have been. Baran is the infinitive of to study, and Aye is like it's in the past. I have been doing something. So Baranaye Gurigega, my house, the house of my. Sadeh, that's 3. Iyo and Toban 10 Bilod, months. Bilod is the plural for bil. Bil is month, but bilod that means months. So sadeh toban, that means 13. Okay. So yes, it's really strange, and I found it strange as well how they use prepositions in Somali, because you have the location in the middle of the sentence, but you have the preposition way at the beginning. So it's just something that you have to get used to. Waxaan ku af Somali baranayay gurigayga saddex iyo toban bilood. If I'm wrong here, please correct me if I'm wrong. Very open. I'm open to the corrections, by the way. So feel free to correct anything here that I've messed up on. All right. So that is the review over the Somali and Japanese. This is basically just a comparison. Like I said, if you've learned Japanese, and you're interested in learning Somali, you're going to find a lot of things that you're going to notice a lot of things that are similar, in that there are things in Japanese that will help you learn the Somali language. So I'm going to continue doing this series. I decided to do this because I'm really into Somali now, and I'm doing a lot of grammar. Since I've reached that intermediate stage, at this point, I just work on grammar and try to improve my grammar, and structure. So I'm going to make, probably every week, I'll make a video like this. If I don't make a comparison video, I'll just make a Somali video on the grammar itself. But I thought this would be interesting to do versus Japanese and make it more interesting. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Feel free, leave it in the comment area. And once again, if in both language, Japanese or Somali, if there are any errors here, just let me know in the comment section. So feel free. I'm very open to it. Don't be afraid. And yeah, will be much appreciated. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for viewing, and you guys have a great day.